Ishq Samundar was not just a song in the film. It was an entire role that I had to play opposite Sanjay Dutt. Eventually that role didn't happen because the film was so long, Kaate was so long, that I decided not to have this role. So if I had known this earlier, I would not have probably done the song. Heroes feel intimidated when there's a stronger heroine in front of them. I am a feminist at heart. I'm a full-on feminist. Yet, I still maintain it is important to get married. It is important to bear a child. Why deprive your child? Your child never asked you to become an actor. Why would you deprive your child? अरे बहुत अच्छी लगती है, मॉडल है. Acting किसको पता?
I am Sakshi Arora and I have with me Isha Koppikar. Welcome to Pinkvilla.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited to talk to you. I have so many questions and I'm so curious about you. So let's begin. My first question would be, you were an established name in the South industry, in all three major industries, Tamil, Telugu and Kannada, right? But still you took that risk and you came to the Hindi film industry and you started off with a supporting role, right? What gave you the courage to do that when you were already an established name in the South?
Well, I had no guidance. Well, if I had it my way and if I could reshape my career and revisit the initial years, I would do it otherwise. I would definitely not do the special appearances that I did, but I didn't have somebody to guide me. I didn't have someone to say that as a launch in an industry where you want to carve your niche, you shouldn't be doing these small roles. But I guess what actually worked for me was my presence, because even in those 2.5 hours, those 20 minutes or that half an hour that where I appeared, people noticed me, and I eventually got offers because of, I remember I just did a 25-minute role in a film called D. In that film, I got a call from Javed Akhtar Saab and Shabana Azmi ji saying that, Isha, you've done such a fabulous part. You have cried. There was a scene where my husband they're all gangsters and I was a bar dancer. And he's killed in front of me, tortured and shot. It was a scene that went on for about 10-15 minutes and I had to cry. And I actually cried. I didn't need any glycerine, I didn't need anything. I just felt it and I cried. So I got a call for that, and it's because of that that I also got Dawn later on. So sometimes it also helps you.
Definitely, you really have worked your way up there for sure, for sure. My next question would be that, when you entered the Hindi industry, Khallas and Ishq Samundar, they really put you on the map, and you were known as the Khallas girl for a very, for a brief period of time. You were known.
Not brief, a very long time.
Very long time, for sure. Did people kind of tell you, because that time the item numbers were kind of thing that, you might be stereotyped as an item girl. I'm using the term item girl.
Typecasted.
Yeah. Did people warn you? Did people tell you that?
No, nobody warned me. Nobody warned me. I didn't know. Yes, you're right. I did get typecasted and I had to reject a lot of. And having said that, Ishq Samundar was not just a song in the film. It was an entire role that I had to play opposite Sanjay Dutt. Eventually, that role didn't happen because the film was so long, Kaate was so long, that I decided not to have this role. So if I had known this earlier, I would not have probably done the song. But the song also became a monster of a song.
Absolutely.
So it was Khallas and it was backed by Ishq Samundar. So two back to back. So yes, it took me quite a while to break that, typecast that, that Isha, can we have you for a song? But again, eventually I managed. I guess you just need to be persistent about what you want, and you should learn to say no, because I knew I had much more to offer than just dance. I am talented, I know how to act. So I just had to say a lot of no's until I bagged another film.
You must be disappointed, right?
Of course, everybody is disappointed. I'm sure you've had disappointments in life. It's just human. It's just a part of your life. You cannot be happy, and it's man proposes, God disposes. Everything doesn't go as per your plan. So I'm no different. So even if I could have planned, I would have planned something. Not everything has worked according to me. And but I accept everything with utmost grace, because things could have been worse. There are a lot of people out there who want to be in my position. Let me think about them rather than thinking of what I could have probably achieved. And I'm sure that, I mean, if you, like I always say, if you are persistent and if you're diligent and if you work hard, eventually your destiny bends its way to manifest your dreams.
Absolutely. But did he apologize to you?
No, I don't expect an apology. How would it change my career? Would it help? Would it help in any way?
You know, when you did Kya Kool Hai Hum, the genre of sex comedies was really new in our country altogether, and it became a huge hit, and your performance was also appreciated. But did it take a lot of convincing
Kya Kool Hai
for
Hum?
you? Yeah,
I jumped at the offer. The way I was narrated that story with the dialogues and with the dialect and with the, I just couldn't say no, because the writer of the film, he narrated the whole story in exactly the way, you know, I was supposed to say it. Pankaj ji, I still remember, and I loved it. I said, this is full, this whole film belongs to this character. And so it was. I used to be stopped by lots of police officers and traffic police on the road, and they used to salute me and they used to say, "Madam, we want somebody like you. माझ्या थाण्यामध्ये तुमच्यासारखे officer पाहिजे. Namaste, namaskar." I used to love it. That was like my award, you know, more than any other award, which you just stand and smile and say thank you, everyone. This is an award for me.
absolutely. When I was researching on you, you have never ever said a mean thing about anybody. Like, you know, never. Like
I'm such a sweet girl.
Exactly. You know, that takes a lot of security from within. You have to be self-assured to be able to not say anything mean about anybody. But did you face jealousy from the fraternity or from your peers? Did you face that?
Honestly, no, I didn't. Now, if they had it inside and they didn't show it or went it, it's different. But in front of me, to my face, I never felt it. But heroes feel intimidated when there's a stronger heroine in front of them. They always want a lesser, a little more inferior actor before them so that they don't overshadow them. I experienced that.
Right. Even Kangana Ranaut in an interview expressed exactly the same thing, that sometimes when they think that you are doing better than them, they get insecure.
Not only doing better than them, also if your screen presence is such and your acting is such that there could be a tendency for the actor, the hero, to be overshadowed. And then I'm a tall girl, so then the short ones don't want to work with you. All these little things, but they're all busted now. It's all okay. Now short, tall, everything is fine.
Yeah, in fact, there was a saying that, you know, there was a lot of power in the hero's hands in those days, and there were stories when
there is power in the hero's hands even today. I wonder why heroes are paid 100 crores and heroines are still paid 10 and 15 crores.
Yeah, but
even today the power lies with the hero. Right, they're given the territories, the women are not.
That's absolutely there, but what kind of shocked me was that, you know, there were stories when actors told the producers and directors to cut the heroine's role. So like there were those kinds of stories as well. Did you suffer anything of that sort?
No.
You started your career with modeling, right? You participated in Miss India. How was that experience for you?
I was extremely young when I started Miss India. I was just out of school, and I was not ready. Not at all ready, and I wanted to do a little bit of modeling before I started, but they insisted that I should participate because they saw that I guess I must have just seen something in me. And then I started modeling, and then I went to the South. It was a great experience, exhilarating. It was a lot of exposure. I was crowned Miss Talent then by Waheeda Rahman ji. So that's when I realized I am talented. Before that, I didn't know about these many remarkable hidden talents that I had of acting. Nice. It was a great experience.
It's nice. I have to talk about Shabri. You put in your heart, soul, and everything in that.
I did.
Movie.
I was hospitalized after that.
I remember one interview of yours where you said you were praying to God and a flower fell down, right?
Yes.
And
oh my God. Yes.
Yes, you said that, and that's how Shabri happened.
Yes.
And that's what made you sure that this film is gonna be a life-changing experience for me.
Yes. Oh my God. I got goosebumps. Yes.
Yeah. So
I won a lot of acclaim, critical acclaim.
Absolutely, and it even traveled like to many film festivals, right? Like across the globe.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it released
later in the day.
Yeah.
Because of some fight between the producer and the distributor who was meant to release it. There was some problem with the funds, and it released quite after its time. It should have released at least 4 or 5 years earlier.
Right. When you put so much of effort, not only effort, like your soul into it,
it
right?
hurts.
It must have been shattering.
Yes, your heart bleeds.
How did you deal with that?
I dealt with it. I moved on and I said, Isha, you can't be married to your business. You can't be married and you need to let go. You'll ruin your health. Work, do something else. If it's this film that was so close to your heart, there'll be something else that'll come. And even now, it's the same thing. I'm content as a person and I'm thankful to God and I have a lot of gratitude for my life. But as an actor, I'm always hungry. I am hungry for better opportunities. I'm hungry for better content. I still feel that I have yet so much of fire in my belly, and that should be till my grave. I want that fire in the belly. I don't want to be relaxed and complacent and, theek hai yaar. I like that. I like that zest, and that should continue.
Right, absolutely. That brings me to the question. A lot of people say that when you are in the limelight, you kind of forget to demarcate your personal and professional life, and everything becomes all about work, films. So what was that point when you realized that, life is much more than just films?
I always knew that life was much more than just films. Maybe that's why I got married at the right time and I had a child at the right time. And a lot of women there, kind of feel that it's not appropriate to have a child in a way that the child is supposed to be had. We need to naturally have a child because we become so vain that we forget the natural course of life. It is important to get married. However much anybody can say anything, I am a feminist at heart. I'm a full-on feminist. Yet, I still maintain it is important to get married. It is important to bear a child. Bear it in your womb. It's extremely important. I think because that's where the connection starts, with your child. And if you have to put on weight, you put on weight. You have to nurse your child. Why deprive your child? Your child never asked you to become an actor. Why would you deprive your child? If you're strong enough, come back to shape. If you're powerful enough, come back to where you were. In every way, physically, emotionally, in every way. How do you call yourself powerful if you do everything artificially? I understand if you have issues. I understand if you have problems because of which you cannot conceive. There are a lot of people out there. Then yes, you can opt for different methods. But if the Almighty has given you the power to create, then why deprive yourself of that? Use that. That's what I feel.
On that note, what do you miss about the industry, the 2000s?
Early 2000 was organic. It was really organic. The kind of films that were made were, even today, if you see the music.
Nothing can beat that. Absolutely.
It's the 90s. Revamped, remixed, all new words. Right? But the music, any song. Hey Bhagwan, ek aur remix. Right?
Absolutely.
Everything is remixed. So 90s was really organic. 90s was really cool. Even the discos out there, nightlife, everything. I think Millennium 2000 ke baad, I just entered on the brink on exactly in 2000. But I would still call myself, because my brain is of the 90s. It's more tuned to the 90s. So what was in the 90s, you cannot compare to what today. You are social media actors. You really don't know your value. Your whole value is on that gadget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't get that many followers, you don't get that many likes, everything is, you have to open your phone and you have to see your Instagram every day. We didn't have all of that. One movie, fine. You win some, you lose some. One Friday is a hit, one Friday may not be a hit. Great. We would still connect in whichever way, through letters or whatever, with our fans, whichever way. It was more organic. The only good thing about today is content, which I really like.
You know, you've always been like a girl who is very pretty. Like I'm sure,
Thank you.
I'm sure people would be commenting before you became an actress that you should be an actress because you're so pretty. I want to know that people say that beauty is important for this industry, but can it also hamper opportunities?
See, because of no, you actually, you know what? Nobody told me that. I'll tell you. Not that I'm not pretty. Sorry, but what I'm trying to tell you is, when I started modeling, they felt that good-looking girls couldn't act. That was what used to go in people. अरे बहुत अच्छी लगती है model है. Acting किसको पता? You understand? I was one of those who could. So most of the ads I had done then were ads. अरे acting की ज़रूरत है, ईशा कोप्पिकर को बुलाओ. That's when I realized that I knew acting, Miss Talent, and then I used to get ads for acting, not just for beauty. So I said, why don't I try my hand at acting? And then because of one of my music videos, I got an opportunity in the South. So that's how I started my career in the South.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how it all happened. I always knew that I could act, and I guess you get that confidence also, right? I was always given work also because of my acting skills. So my beauty or the exterior was never a hindrance to my acting skills.
That's amazing. I have to talk about Ek Vivaah Aisa Bhi. That's, I was telling you, that's one of my favorite movies, and that kind of got you a lot of acclaim also. How did it change the perception of you within the industry?
It did, because I used to do a lot of bold, strong roles. This was also a strong role, but it was not a bold role. It was of a girl next door who sacrifices her life for her siblings. So, and of course it was a Rajashri production, and the entire treatment of the film was really beautiful. People loved it, though it didn't really do well at the box office, but eventually a lot of people saw it.
Like me.
Yeah, they say a lot of good things about the film.
They say that this industry is very tough, right? It can really mess up your mental health because everything is happening in front of the world. If you're succeeding, it's happening in front of the world. If you're failing, it's happening in front of the world. And it's very natural if you start feeling the world is revolving around you. And I'm not saying in terms of ego, but it's like everybody's looking at you, everybody's looking at your move. So did you ever go through a phase where you kind of had to deal with mental health issues because of your work?
Yeah, you're right. You do get a little bogged down by what people may say, but it takes time and it takes maturity to understand that you are not living for the world. You're living for yourself. And what really helps is your immediate circle. I've always lived with my parents. So I had their moral support all through. That helped me to fight through my disappointments. That helped me not to take any kind of adverse steps that people take when they're disappointed. At the rate at which people end their lives or commit suicide or take to substance abuse, or it could be anything to just evade the unhappiness that is in you. So I was lucky enough that I lived with my family and I had their support. But at the same time, I would also say that public memory is very short. You give them a hit, they forget all your flops. You give them a flop, they forget all your hits. So how long can you please people? Legends are forgotten after they die. Legends are forgotten after they die. Whom do you have to please? Right? You have to take each day as it comes. You have to live for yourself. Acting is my passion. Act. Don't think about the numbers. Don't think about what people are saying. You love acting? Act. That's what I have told myself. My passion is what? Acting. I'm not an ice cream man to please everybody. I can't please everyone. I'm human. Actually, I'm so grateful to my parents for the values and the upbringing that I've always had, and I can say this proudly today, I've always had my feet firm on the ground and my head on my strong shoulders. Always. I've never let it go, here and there. And that's only my upbringing, nothing else. The entire credit goes only to my parents. I lived with my grandparents, I lived with my parents, बड़ों का डर, grandparents का जो डर होता है, you know, एक होना चाहिए कि घर पे आएंगे, मम्मी पापा को क्या बोलूँगी, लेट आऊँगी, पापा को क्या बोलूँगी, you know what I mean? I can't come home late. My grandmom is there. What do I say to her? All this is very essential for children, and I've grown up in that environment, so it has really helped me.
Yeah, that's very fortunate of you, for sure. You did a film, Girlfriend. I'm sure that you did that film with good intentions and to create awareness for the LGBTQ community, but it kind of backfired, and your co-star Amrita Arora mentioned in an interview that she kind of regrets doing that film.
Yes.
What are your thoughts when you look back on that film?
I regret doing the film. The intention of doing the film was it was a very clean intention, but it was not treated well. What was told to us was different, and the way the film was treated was very different. At the same time, there was another film called Monster of Charlize Theron that had won the Oscar, which was on the same topic. That won accolades, and this one brickbats.
My last question would be that in this industry, networking is so important, and when you came, the agency system, the PR system was not really prominent, right? So how did your networking skills help you or not help you?
I had very bad networking skills. I was very happy in my own comfort zone because I was not at all the kind of person also who would go out late for parties and party just for networking. For me, it was my home, my family, my work back home. So the less said, the better about my networking.
It must have kind of hampered your career in some way because
because I was not part of any camp. That's it.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you for opening your heart like that, and we would love to see you back on screen very, very soon.
You shall see me soon. I have about 4 to 5 projects that are going to release this year.
That's amazing.
So I'll keep you all posted.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, this is Isha Koppikar Narang. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to Pinkvilla.